Okay, welcome back to the shop. This is round 2 of polishing. Last time I left you, we weren't quite happy with the finish of Rotten Stone. So my friend in Jersey, Frank, sent me these awesome Meguiar's polishing compounds. So I'm going to be trying those out. I don't have the mic, I don't have my apron on, so the mic thing is kind of a pain. Let me see if I can work out a better situation here. Hold on. Yeah, that's better, huh? So Frank in Jersey sent me a bunch, 6 different Meguiar's polishing compounds, so a little bit of each. And I'm going to work through them and see which ones are going to do the job I need to do, the way I need to do them. Oh, wow, she even taped every one of the lids. That's cute. Your wife is very effective, Frank. So there's a bunch of different compounds here. I'm not sure what I'm doing, so this is not instructional at the very least. This one is going to stay in that. I've got, by Frank's direction, I've got some 3-inch sanders or machines. This one is just rotary, it just spins. There's no orbit to it at all. This one is random orbit, they call it dual action. The random one is actually less aggressive than the orbital, and it's got 2 speeds, but there's also, like, I can vary the pressure as well. So this one is for like cutting or getting out all the scratches, and then when we get into the final polishing, then I'll move over to this one. And as his direction too, I also picked up a couple of pads for everything. There's different densities that there are different densities that do the job here. So yeah, so I'm gonna start. It's weird to me, my brain, when I think of polishing, or when I think of like waxing a car, these foam or these wool buffs are the things I think of as like the final make it super shiny, but it turns out it's the first step. It's the cutting step. They're called cutting pads for heavy compounding or for getting all the scratches out. Then you move into these foam guys with different compounds to get a final polish. Alright, we are set up with this stuff, sort of, at least. What I'm going to do is I've got this little bit of pre-finished maple ply, or birch or whatever. It's pre-finished plywood. It's already got finish on it. And what I'm going to basically do, this is it's not a perfect simulation of my guitar's finish, but it's me getting some practice with this polishing stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is basically rough it up with some 2000 grit, which is simulating what I stopped with on the guitar, and then just go till it won't go no more. So that's about the sheen I've got on the guitar right now, maybe a little bit coarser, and it's a little bit rougher than that, but that basically puts a similar sheen, and I know now I can test how to get past this point. Alright, so we're totally dry. I've got my rotary. It makes the brrr sound. I'm running at about 50 psi right now. That keeps it slow-ish without being obnoxious. And I'm just going to take and put just a little drop or 2 of 84, the buffing, the coarse compound, and we'll see how it does. Just a couple of drops first. And Frank said, so I got just a few drops on it. Frank said, work it around manually first, so you're not flinging it all over. And then, no pressure, just set it on there and I don't know if that's enough or too much, or I don't know. So what I'll do next, you know, we probably just need some more compound here. Put a couple more drops down here. And then well, I want to see how this is now. Not sure. I'm truly just not at all understood on all this. So, okay, so this does look like it made some difference. Yeah, it's definitely not dull anymore. Cool. So I feel like I got some phlegm. I feel like that worked out okay. I gotta look for dull spots. I think what I'm wondering is how to clean it up. So I'm gonna go find that out, and then I'll come back. Okay, they say to use a a microfiber towel, which I will do on the guitar, but for this I'm just going to go with the, and they use a little bit of water sometimes, from what I saw. Just a little bit of dampness. Okay, so that's the 84, the compound. And then we'll make sure we're good and dry. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So that was the compound. Then they say, according to the video, Frank gave me a little bit slightly tweaked instructions, which he developed by experience, I'm sure. They say go to the 83 and use a pad, a foam pad instead of the buffing wool. So this is just one method. We're going to try this. They used the rotary for all of that too, so. Alright, I just wiped it down. This was the one we were working on. This is what we started from. And the sheen is better already. And I wasn't really trying, and this is a completely different finish than, I don't know how well you guys can tell it, but it's definitely got a different look. It's cleaner, it looks nicer. That might be a good, see if I can get a glare for you. Nice. I don't know if that's working, but you know, you kind of hopefully get the idea. I'm going to try to get some better video of that. There you go, that's a good measure. And that was without really trying that hard. That was with really kind of a crap setup. That was just the crappy pads and me not knowing how to do it. So I have confidence that I'm going to be able to get this guitar done in a nice way. So we're going to bring you back after I'm ready to, after I get all set up to actually do it for real on the guitar now. All right. So we're going to start on it with the guitar now. For real this time. And since the pick guard goes right here, I'm going to start right here with some 83, the Meguiar's 83 on a buffing wool. Okay. That shouldn't take too long. I'm going to do it right on the, where the pick guard goes first, to see how well we do, and if I burn through it, I won't burn through in a visible spot. So here we go. Boy. So I'm starting to see it. It does shine, but there are still some deeper scratches that I need to get out. So I need to go a little bit more coarse. So I'm going to switch the pad out for some 84 next. So I'll be back with that. So we've got a brand new pad, completely new. I'm going to do some of the 84. because there's still, now that I can see now that there's some polish on here, I can see where the deeper scratches are. So we're going to try this 84 and work those out. I'm going to try to defer this thing first. And as I learned on the 83, we do not need a great big pile of it. We don't need much at all. So we're just going to smudge this on. Still not pink. That's what I keep fearing, is I'm going to burn through it. So there's just a few little scratches left now. It's mostly clear. So I'm just going to keep on them, and that grain is so awesome when it's on shiny stuff. Okay, I'm just going to keep it going. I'm going to, just a drop at a time here is all I really need, I think. So, step one is polish, and I do see that it needs to go further, but it's pretty damn shiny already. It's going to get better. So what you can't see here are the little teeny spirally, or not spiral, spider web looking swirls that are in it yet. But I still have to do the back, so we're going to go on to that side and take care of it next. Okay, I'm not going to put the mic on, I'm just going to hold it here. But so we did the backside a bit. It's not quite done yet. My compressor is a nice compressor, but it's not a continuous duty guy, so I'm kind of taking it easy on it. I gave it some hours to rest, and I'm back out again. We're still going to do the 84. The back still has a few little spots that I want to make sure get touched up, and then we'll start on the neck and the headstock after that. So here's, oh, and we'll do the sides as well. I have to do the sides yet, so we're going to continue on here. Okay, so when I pulled the tape off, it made sense that this perfectly logical thing happened. I polished the back of the neck, and it looks great, except where the mask was, I can feel a little ridge, and that ain't good. I ain't letting that sit. A little razor blade, and we'll slice flush with the, there's a little ridge where the lacquer like bumped up against the masking, so I'm going to try to scrape that flat and hopefully not F it up too badly. Yeah, just got to get that ridge out of there so I don't feel it while playing, and then we'll do that. Okay, I am as far as I'm going to go on this first step. It's looking very good. There are a couple areas like up in the cusp of this horn I'm going to have to do by hand, so I'm going to work that out. But the neck is nice. You should see the headstock inlay. It's very tough to get you a shot of it right now, but it's really sweet. So I'm done for the night. It's almost 9. Today was a good day, boys and girls. Today was a good day. We've got ourselves a shiny ass guitar right now, and I am quite a lot of pleased right this moment. Although I'm about to drop the live camera. Here we go. So, pretty damn special. You see how shiny that is now? Way better than it was the last time you saw it. Or the last week's. It's way shinier now. And it is insane looking. But it's gonna get better yet. It's not through. I've got more steps. I've got more steps. But it's almost there. And I think I'm beyond risk point now. I don't think I have any real worry about burning through anything at this point. I just need to get through all the grits now. Next step's going to be a much finer polish. It's going to get the scratches from the last polish out. And they're in there. I can see them. It's going to be tough to catch them on camera, but they're in there. I see them for sure. Yeah, she's shining up really nice now. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, I need to get you guys some really good 3D footage, because this grain, oh man, there isn't a spot on here that doesn't change as it pivots. It's just, oh, it's so cool. See if you can get some of that. Get any? Gotta find a way to get you some of that grain poppage. Get you some grain poppage. But okay, that's it for tonight. Good night. Okay, good morning. It's the next day, Sunday. And the roughest polishing has been done. I'm going to now switch to a finer abrasive and a less aggressive power method. I'm going to switch to the orbital sander, and then I'm going to use the fine cut number 2 from Meguiar's on a foam pad instead of a cutting wheel or cutting pad. And so we're going to get set up for that next, and I'm going to try it laying down. We'll see how it does, see how well I like it, and then we'll go from there. So off we go to the next step. So I went to the number 2, which is a little finer than the 83, but I see still some spiderwebby stuff after a couple of tries. So I'm going to jump back to the 83, which I think is a little bit coarser. It breaks down a little faster, but it's a little bit coarser than the 2 is. So I'm going to switch to this with the cutting pad instead of a foam pad. And we'll try to get that a little bit better. It's really nice. It's just not quite there. The shining up the surface really shows you where you missed really well. And so I'm gonna try the best I can to knock some of those other scratches that I can see. I can still see like the spiderwebby stuff. So we're gonna try some 83 next. Okay, so here we're gonna, I forgot to hit microphone. Actually, the mic battery died or something. So here what I've got, you can see I've got a low, powerful raking light across the body. And I'm getting my head real low looking across the polish. I'm trying to see if there's any scratches or any dings that I need to continue with. And it looks like there's little tiny swirls, but they're not. They're deeper, and I should have done a better sanding job. But in the end, this is pretty good. I think we're pretty much happy with what it is. I'm looking at it. I don't see any of the spider webbing or any of that. So we're ready to consider this pretty much done. And that raking light is really freaking hot. They're big halogen job site bulbs. So Anyway, next step. Here we go. All right. So now we're kind of up to some hand checking stuff, some hand moving things. And we've got the number 3, which is the machine glaze. We're going to try a little bit of it over here where the pick guard is, right in here, and see if I like it. And then if I do, I'll do the whole thing by hand and we'll be basically ready for wax. I'm going to switch up the mic a little bit so you can hear some of this. Okay, I'm going to bring it a bit nearer. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to take some of this on a microfiber, brand new, fresh and clean microfiber cloth. I'm just going to put it up here in a corner. Frank mentioned that the tags on these things can be even too abrasive for this job, so I'm going to... I ripped them off as soon as I opened it up, so... Hold on. I see a little bit of leftover number 2 here. Ha! Leftover number 2! That's the polish. There's not poop. Hell, it could be poop for all I know. Sorry. No, I'm not. I'll do it again. I'm clever. I feel like I'm clever. Okay, so there's a little of the number 3. We're just going to do a small area here. And he said, buff it on just like you would a car. Like waxing a car. And then let it flash off. We'll leave it there and let it flash, and then we'll buff it off and see how it do. Whether I love it or not. He said if you love it, you stop there. If you don't love it, we'll go to the speed glaze, the number 80. So we'll let that flash off, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to buff. Alright, it's been 3 or 4 minutes now. We're going to buff off this area. I can see my hand. I can tell it's wearing a glove. I can see my face. That was scary. Oh, I think I love it. I think I'm done. I think this is my last polishing. I do think I do love it. I think I love it. I love it. Okay. So that means a little bit of by hand action. Oop, try not to drip it all over hell. A couple of drops. We'll just start putting it on. That soak in and do its thing, and then we'll buff this thing off and flip it over and do the backside. Flip it over and do the backside. Okay, it's been 4 or 5 minutes. This is looking a little cloudy now, which is what I want. This is my wax buff and rag, my number 3 wax buff and wag. Wax buff and wag. Rack, buffin, but the towel that I use with which to buff the wax. Wax buffing rag. There, that lost another minute of time waiting for this thing. Okay, that, I can see that. I can literally read, what's it say there? Yeah, I can literally read Phillips on the light bulb above my head, right there. It says Phillips right there. That's funny. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Alright, and we're going to let that chooch. Gonna let that chooch, and we'll buff it off when it's done. Okay, we are now ready to buff this off. Buff it off. Jimmy, buff it off. Sorry, I couldn't help it. All you can eat, buff it off. Lame jokes. It's my specialty. Oh, this thing looks so good. So this is, I feel, I'm conflicted when I remark on how nice this looks because it feels like I'm being braggy, but I didn't do this. This is, the wood did this. I'm just not screwing up the wood is what's happening. I've just managed to avoid doing it a disservice. But I'm mostly remarking at what nature did for me. Yeah, I can see myself. Kind of scary. God, that looks nice. Okay. That part is freed. Let's give the neck a good buffing. A good buffing. Everybody needs a good buffing once in a while. Back to the bad jokes already, huh? Yes. Oh, this thing looks good, man. I'm gonna go grab some pictures of this real quick, and then we'll start putting the hardware on. God, that looks so amazing. Can you guys, I need you to see how freaking awesome this looks. Hold on. Okay. Just a little swirling. Can you see it? Oh, look at the reflection. You can see that's me. That's my shirt. Hello. Do you see just how three-dimensional that grain is? It's so nice. That is so crazy good looking. Alright, we're going to clean up the neck a little bit. The fretboard's a little bit mushy, smudgy from all the masking, but yeah, this thing is ready for hardware now. Okay, it's time. It is time to start putting on the hardware. This is a big deal too. So we'll start out up here. We'll get the bridge and the tailpiece posts in. Does mean I am going to need to hit this thing with a hammer for a little bit. That doesn't sound like fun, does it? Let's not drop a hammer on it this time, okay, fellas? Let's try to be a little more careful this time, please. I've got my bin o hardware here. We've got tuning machines and the pickups. Strings, those aren't going on yet. Don't get excited. Excuse me. Electronic harness. The the truss rod and nut, truss rod cover and nut. Those are strap pegs. Those will go on as well. There's the tailpiece. Let's put the tailpiece on, shall we, kids? This is pretty big deal. This is the final install of these things right here. This is them going on for real this time. I need a small block of wood, please. Just a tiny block of wood is all. That little, nah, I don't want that board. This one will do. Need something with which to strike these things. So we'll take the posts out. The bushings are what go in. Ha ha ha. Gabriel, you were right. So the lacquer has kind of somewhat slightly, just a little, closed up the holes a little bit. So what I need to do, I'm going to do this very low impact. I'm going to go get a small countersink. Alright, so I've got this little, it's like a 6-point countersink. And I'm not going to go in the cutting direction, I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. Just to sort of back burnish and not destroy lacquer while I do it. And then I can sort of, yeah, that'll do. Now this should just go, yep, it'll go in now. Okay, tiny little block. Do not drop this hammer. Now would be the bad time. You know what we're going to do? Because now would be the bad time for it to happen. Let's, as pretty as it is, let's use our noodles here. Try thinking with our dipsticks. Take all these tags off. Okay, now I feel a little better about it. Not much, but a little. So violent feeling. Oh, it's scary. Okay. Now we have to be very careful. This last tiny little bit. I'm going to find a piece of wood that's a little bit closer. Actually, you know what? We'll put a stud in now. There. Send it straight that way. There we go. That felt a lot less violent than it could have been. It's not quite below surface. I think I'd like to get it just a hair below. That, a little bit of the wooden block. There we go. That is the first piece of hardware going on for the last time. Go over here to this side. We'll do the same little countersink trick. So we're ready to deal with this wire. Move over here, bring ourselves this way so I can fish. I have to fish. This just conveniently hits the bridge hole, the hole for the bridge post, just conveniently hits a slot for the kerfed under stuff for the body, you know, where that spruce kerfed little piece of spruce kerfed spruce went. You just have to fish it on through this hole and then fish a little more. There. So that I should probably get you over here so you can see this. Hang on a second. I'll try to bring you in. Okay, can you see it wiggling down in there? Let's see if I can hold the light properly. Get down in there? There's about a ½ inch of it down in there. Or maybe more even. And there's about a ½ inch down in there. So it's almost to the bottom of the hole. So then we can take our bridge portions, bridge piece, get like this. I'm going to bring in another one. Call in a reserve towel here. that over there so it's safe. That feels a lot better. Okay, now we get the bridge pieces out here. Take one of these studs. These should have no trouble getting pushed down in because they were countersunk before. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick little one here. Just to be safe. And now this one is the final. It's going in right now. This is bridge installation right here. So it's pushing against that ground wire right now. So it's grounded. It's fully on grounded. So we're going to take out the, I'm going to grab my multimeter real fast so you can tell this. There's a clip here. Right there. Okay. And then this electrically connected. So that is done. The bridge is fully grounded. Way back here. Now we have them all installed, but right there is a ding in my finish from pounding on things, so we have to be much more careful. Now let's seriously ponder the idea that we're going to be putting wiring in now. Alright, I had lunch, taking a quick little break. It's time to break out the dental floss again. And we're fishing wires. So I'm going to start out with a few lengths. I need one for each pot, the jack, the switch, and the neck pickup line. Oh, I just hit the end of this. Time for another spool somewhere. I'll be back. Got more floss again. There's 4, 5, 6, and one more. Let's see. Switch, plug, volume, tone. Tone. Neck pickup. Alright, now we have enough. Okay. So to the ends of each of these, let's go get my post-it note I did this on last time. I'm going to mark the ends so that it's very clear which one is which. Jack in the way, which I think I can pull through now, yes. And that one's just turned funny. Okay, I'm just gonna pull them all. I gotta get this organized better. This method ain't working. Need to get the layout stronger so that I can pull everything through the right direction and the right way. Because as it stands, it's, see, it got all twisted there. All right, well, in that attempt to fish, I lost another ground, and generally didn't get very well with it. So I've decided I'm going to change up this harness a little bit so that it's all one linear string. But I have to replace a couple of wires and such, so we'll do that. I'm back into soldering mode again, I guess. Reluctantly so, but I'd rather have it right this time than wrong in the body. So I'm gonna grab a little water, a little water, a little water. Make my sponge wet. And I'm just gonna fish all of these guys through. I haven't decided if I'm gonna take off all the floss. I might as well, because at this point it's kind of pointless. Yeah, we're gonna just organize this in a fashion that ensures a single strip of wiring. We're just gonna go from one around to the other, and then I can tie them all together, right? Oh, that was a pain. Yeah, we're pulling this all apart again. Sorry, we're pulling this all apart again. One more time. One last time. Get it right, right? That's the plan anyway. So, boring music time, or boring moment for some music, I guess. Alright, all the wiring is done, and now we are in independent volume, bridge and tone, bridge and neck. So this is, switches in the middle position. That amp is almost entirely up, so they're both going. Now I can turn I think this is the neck pickup down. Or I can turn the neck pickup up neck pickup is down, right? But the bridge is still going. Turn the bridge pickup down. Bridge is now done. Neck is out. Neck is now in. Bridge is off. So we're good. It's exactly what I wanted. We can now try to fish this shit through into the body. That is my next task. Okay, we have rerouted all our dental floss, hopefully in a conducive manner. A manner conducive to this task. I'm going to tie on to the first one in, which is my jack, which hopefully will go where I want it to. Okay, really quickly, the guitar has all its hardware on, the wiring is in. I did a test. It sounds like it's got them. The wiring is good. The wires are where they belong. The controls do what they're supposed to do. The thing that's kind of bothering me is that I can see the wires, but it only kind of bothers me just a little, so I'm fine. I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to go, but I'm done, ready for strings, ready for setup next week. Woo!